welcome to SGN, Last Words Edition, Breakaway Edition, Kensington Edition, Last Words SGN, some good news. My name is Sam Frangione and I am your host today here on the SGN show. If you didn't know what SGN is, it stands for Some Good News, and it was created by a man I like to call Jim Halpert, otherwise known as John Krasinski. Maybe you've seen some episodes, maybe you haven't. It is amazing. His message is this. It's that you people are the good news. I just talk about it. I just share it. The same is true for us here today. You guys are the good news. Your leaders are the good news. Jesus, obviously, is the good news. Okay, but first, if you haven't seen SGN, I wanted to show you just a couple quick clips just to give you an idea of where we're headed. And I really like the show, and it makes me cry pretty much every single time I watch it. So hope you enjoy.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to SGN. I'm John Krasinski. And what the heck just happened? And unbeknownst to the rest of the world, over on TikTok, the Olympics are still going on. One day, after sending a whole bunch of letters throughout quarantine, Emerson decided that one person in particular deserved one of her special letters. Her mailman, Doug. Well, Doug took that letter and showed it to all his fellow employees at the United States Postal Service. It meant so much to everyone, they wanted to write back. By the power vested in me by this piece of paper and seemingly the state of Maryland, I now pronounce you husband and wife. John, you may now kiss the bride.
Yay!
Evan Era Magic kicks things off by making kindness look super easy as he makes one driver's delivery extra special.
What's up, man?
Can we take one of these?
Yeah, absolutely. It's for you.
Oh man, you're a lifesaver. Thank you.
There were reports that in someone's backyard, an honest-to-God guardian angel was spotted mowing the lawn. Nope. Turns out it was retired paratrooper Art Cruz just making good on a promise to his neighbor who's currently deployed overseas that he would always be there for him and his family. In Maine, a local man bought 100 lobsters to help out a lobsterman. He then went to each one of his neighbors and delivered them a fully cooked lobster dinner. In Ireland, and no, I won't embarrass myself by doing that accent, 3 generations took place in social distancing as a grandfather met his grandson for the first time.
Like I said, his message is that you, the people, are the good news. He just shares it. Beautiful stuff. Thank you, John, for being an inspiration to so many of us here at home. Well, we do want to celebrate all that God did this year at Breakaway. I know that it might feel like the last 3 months have been a year or 2 years maybe even, and we really can't remember what happened in February or January or any of the other months that I forgot what they're called. Okay, but God did a lot this year. And so we're going to spend today looking back at all He did. And I know what you're thinking. Just some good news, Sam? Is that all that we have to share from Breakaway this year? Just some good news? Well, guys, my mug does not say ALGN for a lot of good news or NSGN for non-stop good news. It says SGN for some good news. And so that's what we've got for you here today. Now, if you have watched any of our Sunday streams, especially our best ones, you know that's something that we do every time. Not every time, but our best ones. We give things away. We do giveaways, right? And whether it's an Amazon gift card, a Grubhub gift card, some other gift card, a card that is a gift that comes in the shape of a card, but is a gift card. Yes, we've given many away, but today we are doing another giveaway. And here's what we're giving away, guys. I'm excited. We're giving away this. And if you don't know what it is, it's a Nintendo 64 controller, purple version. I probably used to call it holographic. And it does still function, in case you were wondering. Not only are we giving this away, we are also, more importantly, I'm just kidding, if you want the N64 and you win the raffle, you can have the controller. So it's either the controller or an annual subscription to Zoom. That's right, you didn't have enough, you just finished school, all you need is Zoom, 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 Zoom. You want more Zoom calls. And so we will cover an annual subscription of Zoom. No, we won't. I just got word that was not true. Okay, we are not getting you an annual subscription of Zoom. But in all seriousness, you can win a personalized journal today, okay? It has a nice little inscription on the front. We want to get it for you. We want to encourage your time with God, your journaling time. I think that is important. It's an important part of your walk with God. So you can win a journal, and if you win the raffle and you don't want a journal and you rather would have this N64 controller, I cannot imagine any of you have an N64 at home, but if you want this because it looks cool, except for these rusty stains, it's okay, it's like 30 years old, then you can have that instead, and I can give someone else the personalized journal, okay? We'll do that. And here's the thing. I'm no expert, but that, my friends, sounds like some good news. Now, as we look back on 2019-2020, a lot happened. We might not be able to remember it all, but a lot happened, whether it was from our retreats, our big events that we did throughout the year, whether it was the small groups that you were a part of every single week at Breakaway on Sunday mornings, whether it was the services or the games we played. There was a lot that happened. And so we do think and believe that it's important to look back and find the good news in all that we did. And to help us with this, we were able to put together a list of stats and facts thanks to the Mask Force Alliance Bureau of Statistics and Investigation. The Mask Sports Alliance Bureau of Investigation, Facts and Statistics, Analytics, Mask Analytics is what they call themselves, and we are grateful for them. And so all of this information that you're about to hear is completely 100% verifiable truth. So to kick off our top 10 things, stats, facts, and all things history, analytics from the Mask Bureau of Analytics, Farm Bureau Insurance is number 10. Based on survey results, we found that 84% of 6th graders are still experiencing emotional turmoil. Although they won the house wars this past fall, they're still experiencing the emotional turmoil from the name choice of Larry the 6th grade Chandler. So many souls and minds have been consumed with wondering, where did this name come from? And we have to ask ourselves the same exact thing every waking moment. And moving on. All right, number 9. We learn in the story of Noah that there was a rainbow sent as a sign, as a symbol of the promises of God that he had for his people. It was beautiful. Every color, shade of blue and red and orange and yellow and green and indigo and violet, and probably another one I forgot to say. Orange? We cannot be sure unless the tape tells the truth. Now, when you put all these colors together, though they're beautiful in a rainbow, they're not beautiful, say, when you use color dye. Yes, that's right, at Soaker Dye this past fall, we saw what looked much more like the Church of the Lord than did it look like color. A nice shade of poop color. I promise this is only my first of 3 references to poop in this Some Good News episode. And back to number 8 as we keep the train moving down the football field. Okay, number 8. We have no conclusive evidence, just a loosely based testimony from an unnamed 7th grade small group leader whose name rhymes with fake pennies, who reported that at the Wild Retreat, there was an instant wrestling match in their cabin upon arrival. Upon arrival, we have no record of said wrestling match, but can only assume that things became more wild throughout the weekend for this group. In all seriousness, Fake Pennies commented and confirmed that this fun, crazy start to the weekend actually helped to open things up in conversation in small groups and friendship relationships moving into the future. Oh, how we miss being together. And now moving on to number 7. See, wrestling matches were not the only thing that happened at Wild this year. As a matter of fact, we saw hundreds of students just like yourself make decisions to follow Jesus or surrender different parts of their life to him. That is some good news if I have ever heard it. And I have, just then, right now in this moment. All right, and moving on to number 6 on our list from the Mask Bureau of Insurance Corporation, we found that we have a stat of chores. Wow, this is fascinating. A stat of chores and tasks that pertain to your activity at home during quarantine. It looks like although video game hours, and TikTok dance practices took a lot of the time, we know that these are not the only stats of value that we tracked. That's right, we found that 437 wooden spindles at the Mukherjee's pool deck were painted by the team. That's right, the team of Reed, Mays, and Cole. Well done, gentlemen. Well done indeed. It looks beautiful. Well done. I wish I could paint. Maybe I can. Maybe you can paint. I wish I could paint like Bob Ross. You know what that would be? If I could paint like Bob Ross, if somebody just told me I could do that, that would be some good news. Okay? And now moving on to number 5, some more news from the first semester of Breakaway this past year. At our Christmas party, we saw 347 candy canes destroyed and demolished throughout the morning. We also saw 67 cups of hot cocoa that were drinking, and only 14 of those hot chocolate cups ended up on the ground to be cleaned up by the facilities team in the weeks and months. They're probably still cleaning it up to follow. That's right, folks. There were also 601 donut holes that were consumed that morning, that glorious Christmas party morning. Everybody remember the dance party? Yeah, nobody remembers the dance party. It was a fail. But some good news is that we did discover and recover every single gingerbread house that was built, except one. One lone, almost survivor. Thanks, Spencer. And speaking of Christmas, we figured now's as good a time as any here in Michigan to check in on the weather, because you know that it is June 14th, which means it's probably snowing outside. But just to be safe, let's go ahead and check out the weather update from your local weather correspondent, Kcstudents. Kelsey, how's the weather out there?
Looks pretty good.
All right, well, thanks for that update. Sounds amazing out there. And moving on to number 4 on our list. So many of you know, over the last few months, we have had product issues. We have had product shortages. If any of you went into stores, you saw signs at the front of them that said, we don't have these 10 items. We don't have these 20 items. Here are the 30 items you can only get one of. And that's how the stores were. And we found something very interesting as we looked back, as the Mask Task Force Initiative looked back on the records of Breakaway's activity this past school year. That's right, no good was more sought after than toilet paper, regular old-fashioned TP. And Mask discovered that Breakaway used toilet paper in a TP snowball fight. And they used over 100 rolls of toilet paper. What are we gonna do? 100 rolls of toilet paper wasted. Think about that. Think about that, and then think about the squares that you've had to ration. Think about the times you've had to hold it in because you didn't know if you had enough toilet paper to get you through the week. Think about the leaves you thought about using but never did. Or the bidet you wished your parents would purchase. Or the bath you took because that was all you knew to do to solve your problem. And then think about that dodgeball, TP, snowball fight party and remind me next year to maybe not do it. Moving on to number 3 on our list. Oh, this is a special one. This is actually serious, okay? Number 3 on our list. We saw between the fall and our winter serve where we did our rake and run next door to Lake Orion to the campus, and we did our nursing home visit. In February, we saw over 70 students, that's right, over 70 of you, come together and serve people in need. Whether it was raking somebody's lawn who wasn't physically able or didn't have the time or the equipment to do it, you guys stepped up and loved neighbors. You loved people who needed to be helped. Or if it was in the nursing home, I still remember there were conversations. Sophia's probably not watching this, but I remember she was sitting there. I walked up the stairs or the elevator, and she was sitting there talking to probably 3 elderly women who I could tell were really enjoying the conversation. Sometimes loving our neighbor is as simple as that, and being open and talking with people who just want to be talked to and talked with. Reflecting Jesus with our actions, guys, that sounds, yep, you guessed it again, like some good news. Okay, that is some good news. I love it. Moving on to number 2. Only 2 things left on this list. The best news of all that Mask was able to uncover was this. Whoa. Shockingly found. Hey, can we get this checked? Producer, camera guy. Somebody. There's no way this is... I'm the only one in here. That's right. But still, how is this accurate? It says that the Mask Task Force found that 100%, that's not a discrepancy, 100% of our middle school students survived the None of Your Business series on that. 100% of you survived. That can't be right. Could it be? Wow. Congratulations, everyone. You did it. If anyone has a discrepancy or something that they think maybe someone didn't survive the series, please provide a 2.2 star rating to the Mask Task Force Alliance Farm Bureau of Insurance, State Farm, whenever you're able to. And now the last thing on our list, okay? The last thing that the Mask Task Force was able to dig up is pretty cool and a little crazy. If you've been following, which you are because you're on our YouTube channel right now, we saw that we've seen over 2,700 views over this spring, over this time of quarantine on our YouTube channel. That's a whole lot of fun, whole lot of hope, whole lot of Jesus being passed around and people being encouraged. This is crazy to think about. Literally crazy. Not to mention that the KC Students YouTube channel officially has over 200 subscribers, which means that I will do a challenge for you. I will do a challenge. Whatever it is, I'm up for it. I will do it. I will take it on, okay? It just cannot be illegal. Whether it's me shaving my face, cutting my hair funny, jumping off of my roof, but I don't think I have a ladder that can get me up there, but something crazy. Think about it. I'm up for it because we've got over 200 subscribers and that's something worth celebrating. I'd also say that's some good news. And wow, my paper turned sideways. Fascinating how science works. Okay, that was a crazy school year. It's been a lot. A lot has happened, and so it's important that we look back and we take the time to do it and to reflect on all God has done. Not only at Breakaway, but specifically in our lives, in your life at home. So I hope that maybe as we talk about these, as we listed these off, something stuck out to you at home that reminds you of what God did in your life this year. Most of you know, though, that Breakaway doesn't just automatically happen. It doesn't appear on Sunday mornings for a Zoom call or in room 1300. It just doesn't magically wave a wand. I don't magically poof up, although that sounds like it'd be pretty darn cool. So if anyone knows how to do that, let me know. Just put it in the comments, okay? But there are people who make this happen every single week. We talk about them pretty often, so I hope you know who they are. What did we have here? Yes, it rhymes with fall poop greeters. Fall poop greeters, you know, the people who in the times of autumn seasons hang out in the toilet bowl waiting for your turds to sploosh as they say hello to them falling down. That's reference 2 out of 3 of turds. I apologize. But I don't, because these fall poop leaders are phenomenal. You know that that's not what they are. They're small group leaders, and we love them very much. You guys are treasured leaders. We love you, and we are so grateful for you and for all that you do for Breakaway, for our students, and how you reflect Jesus to students. It is awesome. And now they have done a lot for you, especially during this quarantine time, where they're able to wake up every Sunday morning and make sure that they're setting aside time to connect with you on Zoom, which we all know isn't the easiest thing, but they do it almost every single week, and we love them for it. And we asked a few of our leaders what their favorite moment this year was, favorite moments were. And so go ahead and check out some of these Some Good News readings from them. Our first leader we heard from was Pam Mormon, 6th grade girls leader, and here's what she said. She said, the most memorable moment was raking the leaves. We had a huge lot. I remember it was in the back left. And she said, my 6th grade girls rocked it. Also, their open, candid conversations were great. These are wonderful future leaders. Of course, Spring Hill was amazing. Ziplining in the dark and sleet was awesome. The funniest moment was the scavenger hunt where we all crammed into one stall in the bathroom. Well done, 6th grade girls group, who I think was our biggest group. So the fact that you were able to squeeze into one stall is incredibly impressive. Cheers. Another leader we heard from was Charlie Thompson, our 8th grade gentleman leader. He said this, he said, "Hi Sam, my favorite moment was telling the other leaders that I was too fragile to play dodgeball with the teens. The truth is, I didn't want to mess up my new glasses. So I stood on the sidelines, talking, and about 5 minutes in, I got hit right in the face and my glasses went flying. They were bent, and of course, I've still never found the guilty teen. Was it you? Was it you?" Good news is the glasses are fixed and I can now see once again. The guilty party wants to fess up. I promise to accept their apology and will not press charges. There you have it. Folks, if you know who broke Charlie's glasses, it's fine. You're forgiven. And if anybody has this action on video, probably all of us would like to see that. Another leader we heard from was Jordan Gurjikian, who led with us this past fall. He said, "So my favorite part of this year was the Wild Retreat. I went on it and bought these brand new shoes. Awful idea to bring those new shoes to a middle school retreat. And throughout the weekend, my boys thought it was so funny to step on them. So that was the running joke the whole weekend. Step on Jordan's new shoes, LOL. But truly, it brought the group together, and I believe we all grew closer from just having a fun time and messing around. It helped make small groups more vulnerable. And that was one of my favorite Breakaway memories for me. Warning, don't bring your brand new shoes to Wild later this year. Don't do it. That's a warning from Jordan. There's some good news for you. This one will touch all of our hearts. It's from 7th grade small group leader Elena DiClemente. She said, "Favorite moment could be seeing everyone's faces on Zoom after we could no longer meet in person. I know for a lot of us, Zoom can be draining, but the fact that Elena said this here, it is nice to see you guys when we get to Zoom. I think all of our leaders feel that way, and we hope that you guys enjoy just the little bit of interaction that we can have. Hopefully, there's more in-person interaction to come soon. And being able to get to know more of the 7th grade girls outside of my group," Elena said. "The most ridiculous was probably during the boys versus girls relay race when they had to lick the icing off the plexiglass or whatever that was. I think I was actually sick that day, but I'm pretty bummed that I missed it." Lauren Gnip, shared that her favorite memory was when she took a 2-hour nap during Takeover this past spring. If you didn't know this, Takeover was the last thing any of us did together. Crazy. In person at least. Crazy. And I don't know why I didn't get to have a 2-hour nap. That sounds awesome. I'd like a 2-hour nap right now if I'm being completely honest, but the show must go on and there is some more good news to share. We also heard from 7th grade leader Kyle Bell. He wrote a lot and it really reflects and shows how much God moved in him this year. It says, if I had to reflect on my last year with Kensington and at Breakaway, I would say truly blessed. Starting last summer, I had no idea what to expect. I was always close with my relationship with God, but never had the opportunity to teach, guide, or mentor others along their faith journey. Nor have I ever really had someone help me continue to grow mine. I'm very humbled to have met some incredible people who consistently look out for me in so many different ways, and so many people such as Sam, Kelsey, Tim, Jordan, and so many more to call my friends. I truly am blessed to have met these incredible people, and they have made this hard time better with their guidance and constant connection. When it comes to different events, I truly believe that Wild helped change everything for me. I know that it was geared towards middle school students, but I really believe that helped me evolve with my own faith as well. But I loved our group and our cabin. We had a blast getting to know each other and developing relationships, which has lasted all year, making our group as close as it is. I watch kids from all places develop friendships and have a blast every day. Secondly, I would say Takeover was another powerful event. Then he goes on, but it is phenomenal to have guys like Kyle, to have all of you small group leaders are such a gift in your own unique ways, not only to our staff, but to our students. Students, make sure that you do something today. Maybe send a text if you have a phone. Maybe even make a phone call. Crazy business. Maybe send a letter. If there is something that you want to do for a small group leader, but you're not sure how to do it, let us know. Message us, stay on the Zoom chat till the end today or something like that, and we will help you connect with your leader or surprise your leader in some pretty cool way like that. All right. Now that is our small group leader segment, and they are phenomenal. And it seems like a good time to check in on the weather and see how it's going out there. Michael, over to you.
Looks pretty good.
Oh, we're back. Thank you, Michael, for that update. It's good to know that the weather is finally consistent here in Michigan. Consistently consistent, uncertainly consistent, certain times. Okay, awesome. Well, something important for you guys to know, okay? As I'm looking at my notes here, it looks like we had a special report come in. The Sunday Stream Coalition received word that some of you were hoping for more videos of me, the host of SGN, not to be inside, but to be outside doing things. And so because of that, we've decided to create a new segment in SGN. And we're going to go over to Sam with the sports.
Alrighty, thanks Sam. Thanks for throwing it out to here with me for the sports section. We're super jacked, super pumped for today's edition of the sports. Some good news. So what we've got for you guys is this, okay? The whole year, a lot of stuff happened, right? We all know that. It's crazy, okay? It's like seriously blows my mind, okay? So what the game is, because it's a sport, okay? The game is I'm gonna give you two things, and you are going to have to think about which one came first. Which one of the two things came first. And now I know, so it'd be like, hey, was it Christmas or Halloween? Obviously, Halloween came first because that's where we get all the candy the first time. Then we get more candy at Christmas. But then we get even more candy at Easter. It's amazing. But I know what you're thinking. Bro, that's not a sport. Well, guess what? I'm going to make it a sport. Okay, here's how it's gonna work. These are my dumbbells. Option 1, option 2. You get it? 1, 2. I think you understand. Okay, how it's gonna work is whichever one I lift up last is the one that came first. okay? The one I lift up last, like a sit curl, like a 100-pound dumbbell curl, whichever one is last, that's the one that came first. So don't be confused about the number 2 if it's gonna come first, okay? Anything can happen. And I can do as many reps as I want, so hope you're ready to watch. All right, round 1, we've got House Wars versus Soak or Die. Which one came first, okay? Option 1 is House Wars. Option 2 is Soak or Die. Check it out. House Wars or Soak or Die. House Wars or Soak or Die. Which one was it? Which one was first? House Wars, baby! Round 2. Option 1 is the Rake and Run. Option 2 is Cat Troubles at Wild. Now, was it the Rake and Run or Cat Troubles at Wild? Rake and Run, or Cat Troubles at Wild? Oh yeah, this form is amazing. Look at this form. Yeah, whoa, which one is it? Cat Troubles, late October, everybody. For those of you that remember Takeover Round 3, where did we go first? Was it Dave and Buster's or the Legacy Center? Dave, Legacy, Buster's, Legacy. Dave and Buster's, Legacy. Which one was first? Oh, can you remember it? Oh yeah, Dave and Buster's with the video games and the tacos. All right, I think we're on round 4. Now, which one of these came first? Was it Arthur's first teaching at Breakaway, or was it when we threw stuff off the roof? Arthur's first teaching, or pumpkins and gallons of milk flying off the roof? Teaching, roof, teaching, roof. No, I got backwards. I'm going insane over here, guys. Teaching, roof, teaching, roof. Oh yeah. We can do this all day. All day. Ugh. Nope. That's not right. Got him. It was the roof was for. During our None of Your Business series, we had the Battle of the Sexes, which was the guys against the girls. So here's the question, because we know the ladies won, but which of these started first? Was it the girls celebrating when they heard they won, or was it the boys complaining when they heard they lost? Which one came first, the girls celebrating or the guys complaining? Which one is it? This is our last round. One started first after the girls won the Battle of the Sexes. Oh, I think we know the answer to this one. Yes, it was both of them, all at the same time. And back to you with some more good news.
Well, I think that's enough sports for all of us for a while, at least till baseball or golf or basketball or hockey or football or some other sport that's not back started, but I think golf might actually be started, but it's sports and some of us don't even care about sports. So anyways, let's keep the ball rolling down the field like it's bowling on a football field. Maybe that's a new game you could play. Who can throw the bowling ball the furthest down the football field? I'd like to play that. Anyways, as we look back on this morning and on this school year, we have seen a lot of really cool things, a lot of really great things, whether they were fun moments that you had this year, whether they were powerful spiritual moments that you had this year. We all had a different amount of different kinds of moments, but what's most important to realize is that every single one of these moments is a part of your story. Every moment that you walk through, every moment you experience is a part of your story and your testimony and faith in Jesus. And that's something I'm grateful for. And so it's important that you take time today, I encourage you, to reflect on your year, to look, maybe journal. If you win today, if you win the journal, you could use the journal, but you couldn't use it today because it has to go in the mail. But in the future, you could use it. But today, look back on your year. Look back at the big moments. Maybe it wasn't the huge, big things, but it was the little moments along the way that helped create your story this year, this chapter of your life. Okay, now without further ado, it is time to close this episode of SGN, probably the last ever episode of Last Words Breakaway Sunday Stream, Corin Stream Sunday Words Last. SGN, some good news, a lot of good news, non-stop good news, SGN. Okay. And to help us do that, just go ahead and check out this recap video of 2019-2020. And keep in mind, this is for Breakaway and Edge, and we love all of our middle school and high school students. Yes, that means even some of your older siblings who you really despise, because we think Jesus still wants us to love them too. Take a peek. Take a look.
Olive juice.
I love shoes.
Olive juice.
What? Don't even hit. Come on, Lucas. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh.
I think God's really transformed my life this year, like working with the kids, honestly, and like volunteering. I think it just grew my faith so much, seeing how God can move through little kids. I think also getting baptized. Again, I got baptized as a little kid, but I decided I feel like I should do it again because I feel like now I'm actually close with God and I have a relationship. So I got baptized again, and it really grew me closer with God and deeper prayer, deeper reading, and yeah.
I was asked the question how God has worked in my life in the past year, and I definitely believe He has given me new people at Edge especially, and friends, and a new support system that I can count on and that will help me grow in my faith and teach other people about it as well. And I definitely believe He has helped me get through challenges and conflicts I've faced and help me grow and benefit from them instead of me giving up. He's there to show me that I can get through it.
I started going to Breakaway in the fall, and that's when I met my small group of people, and then I went to Camp Wild, and then I really connected with them, and then I started going to church a lot, like every Sunday, and I really connected with my small group friends, and God was leaning me towards getting baptized, and I got baptized with my mom in the winter, and then He has been with me ever since I got baptized, and He's really connected with me and been suggesting and keeping me close and making sure that I'm okay and telling me that everything's going to be alright during COVID-19. Thank you.
So there has been a lot of good news. It hasn't just been some good news, there's been a lot of it. And bonus good news, even though this is our last Sunday stream of the school year, it's not our last Sunday stream. We have another one next Sunday. It's going to be for Father's Day. Bonus, if you didn't know, it's Father's Day. Oh, that reminds me. We love you guys, we miss you, and we hope that you enjoyed this version of Some Good News.